This video is brought to you by Answerly, a question platform that pays you for adding high-quality answers on different questions. The users are rewarded in Answerly tokens, which they can easily convert into dollars or any other cryptocurrency by using one of the exchanges mentioned in the description. Hello and welcome to our YouTube channel. In today's video, we'll be talking about the 4 things every man must conquer. They're things that society deems as a man's needs: fast cars, big cigars, and shiny toys. These are what a man needs, right? Wrong. What a man genuinely needs are things that'll improve his everyday life. From using them to get the job done to simply enjoying them on an aesthetic level. These things are meant to make life easier, not more complex. Without further ado, here are 4 things every man must conquer. Number 1. Monetizable skills. Every man requires monetizable skills. These are distinct from career or education. While career and education both have plenty of value, a man can still make do without either. And in a real pinch, career and education may not be enough. If your career vanishes, as has happened to everyone from animators to coal miners, it won't matter how good your resume is or far back your work experience goes. And if your education isn't in a practical, skills-related major, let's say for instance, you majored in English or psychology, you'll still often have to find work as a retail clerk or coffee shop barista alongside your GED peers. A monetizable skill is something you know how to do that people will pay you for. These skills are sometimes known as trades. That includes things you do with your hands like the work of plumbers, electricians, carpenters, engineers, and it also includes work you do in offices or in a computer like the work of architects, graphic designers, copywriters, writers in general, and programmers. Some of these skills are easier to make money in than others. To make money as a writer, for instance, you'll need to be at a fairly high degree of skill. You can be at a comparable lower level of skill as a programmer and still make good money. Before we proceed on the next thing every man must conquer, please like this video, smash the subscribe button, and click the notification bell right now, or else you'll never achieve greater things in your life. Moving on to the next one. Number 2, a grand strategy. There must be a unifying strategy behind men's actions. Something you find out quick when you start to play strategy games, chess, risk, bridge, poker, real-time strategy games is different. Men have different strategies. Some guys like to burst out of the gate and go on an offensive blitz against their opponents to keep them off balance from the get-go. Some guys like to fortify their positions a bit and then shift to attacking. Some guys like to slowly advance a solid position and gradually take over the board a piece at a time. The synergy is that once you know a guy's game strategy, you realize he follows the same strategy in real life too. He follows it in dating, he follows it in business, he follows it in skill building and habit formation. The most effective men all have grand strategies they pursue no matter what the field or situation. The value a grand strategy provides is enormous. Where many men fall prey to confusion and idleness, the man with a grand strategy immediately sets to work looking for ways to follow his strategy in any new field. After you've labored to improve your position in a few different fields, you realize the same grand strategy can be applied in any field with no modifications to suit the details of the field, of course. The offensive blitz works just as well in entrepreneurship. Launch fast, get investors fast, be the first to market right out of the gate. Boxing, wither your opponent with a hail of rapid hits from the start. Chess, put your opponent on the defense from the start with aggressive tactics. Women, approach fast, don't hesitate, skip steps, use early compliance tests to find women you can move fast with. Whatever you apply it to. Same with all the other strategies. Number 3, self-defense. The world isn't always a friendly place. Self-defense has 6 purposes. To allow you to physically defend yourself and others if necessary. To give you more confidence and make you less afraid of physical attack. To serve as a deterrent to possible attackers who can often sense fighting ability. To make you more attractive to women. Confidence plus other men's respect, attractive. To train you to be aware of confrontation risks and to de-escalate or get away. To make you aware of what your limitations are and what the risks of confrontations are. On that last, until you've had sufficient fighting experience or self-defense training, You will tend to overestimate certain risks of combat and underestimate others. You may be much more afraid of a punch than a single punch usually warrants, but on the other hand, not realize the potentially lethal danger of getting into a knock-on, drag-out fight with someone who's truly angry. You may be thinking just fists, but you may have a knife, or your punch to him may knock his head against the table and give him an aneurysm that kills him. A good self-defense instructor will train you how to defend yourself from the attack. This can keep you alive in bad situations. The confidence you get from this is real confidence because you know how to carry yourself in a fight. This confidence affects your body language. The average attacker is a lot less likely to pick a fight with a man who looks able to fight back, and then a man who looks afraid of confrontation. Attackers look for victims they think they can overpower. Even more important than this, though, is the sensitivity self-defense training gives you to attack signals, and the coaching a good instructor will give you to get out of violent situations rather than stay in them. You see, what happens for many men is once a confrontation starts, ego gets involved. Some guy gets in your face and starts to posture and challenge you, and your ego kicks in and says, "Well, I can't back down now, this guy's impugned my honor." And now you're well on your way to a pointless ass-kicking contest with some random tough, all because he was searching for someone clueless enough to make eye contact with them and not exit after his challenge, and that's you. Best case scenario, somebody breaks the two of you up before anything too bad happens. Worst case scenario, prison on an involuntary manslaughter charge, if you're not the one who's 6 feet under, that is. The confidence of knowing you can hold your own in a fight, or at least fight an attacker or two off until you can get away, pays dividends in many ways too. Other men mess with you much less, and you feel much more comfortable in places you might have felt more vulnerable and sure before, like in nightclubs. It's easier to approach cute girls in clubs when you aren't worried about whether some big possessive Hulk will show up to pound you into dust because, hey, that's his girl. If you know how to handle confrontations, de-escalate them, and not get beat up in the event they do escalate, you're a lot more empowered to go for what you want in social situations without being overly afraid. Number 4. Productive habits. Being productive is hard. Good habits make it far less so. You're still figuring out what you want to do with your life. By 30, you should have started to figure this out. And by 35, you should not only have a direction, but you want to have the habits in place to enable yourself to get where you want to get to. No man has unlimited willpower. Even the strongest man has a very limited pool of willpower in fact. What differentiates effective men who build themselves up and get things done from drift-about men who achieve little and get nowhere fast are habits? Effective men build a system of habits that get them to do the things they need to do to improve their luts and advance their positions. Ineffective men do not. Their habits serve short-term enjoyment, what productivity gurus call procrastination, over long-term advancement. Find any successful man you like. No matter what areas he's successful in, he has leaned on habits for it all. Willpower only takes you so far, and only in bursts. Habits are the crutch you lean on when things get hard, and the tool you use to spare yourself from burning willpower on things you don't need to burn it on. Most of the time, you should direct your greatest expenditure of willpower to the setting up new habits. There you have it. How important do you think these are in a man's life? Let's know your thoughts in the comments section down below. If you like this video, make sure to smash the like button and subscribe to this channel. To learn more about Answerly and Answerly tokens, check out the links in the description.